Okay, Jeremy Madeiros here from Nonsuch Island on the 13th of April, and we're about to do a weight and health check on our CahowCam chick, who has been growing by leaps and bounds over the last week or two. I have to clear away some of the spider web, which our very active spider has been creating. And our chick has been getting quite adventurous because it's been going out to the entrance tunnel the last day or two. He's growing. He feels fairly weighty. He was given a feeding visit by the male bird 2 nights ago, so it'll be interesting to see what weight and how much his wing cord has developed since the last check. Okay, so he looks in really good shape. His wings are definitely developing more and more now, not to the extent that a couple of them have. He doesn't look like he has, the primary feathers aren't coming out yet from the sheaths, but the feather sheaths are developing on his wing tips and everything, you can see. But you'll see the black ends of the feathers, the primary feathers themselves, starting to emerge probably in the next week or so. He is growing. He's gone from being a single, little puffball that fit neatly in one hand to is almost a double handful now. And growing steadily. The parents have been very good about giving him very regular feeding visits. And twice now, they've both visited him on the same night, which they can gain an enormous amount of weight. You can also see that his feet are really developing. Not quite full size yet. You can see the webbing on them, but in the next couple of weeks, the feet will essentially be fully developed. It's one of the first parts of the chick's body to grow and fully mature. So we're going to put him in the familiar weighing bag. He's doing his best imitation of a squeaky toy. And we've already pre-weighed the bag at 17 grams. And so we will hook him up to the weight scale. Okay, yes, and he is almost exactly 300 grams, so he's holding steady. He is actually 300, let's see, 302 grams. Yeah, so I think the last check was 304 grams, but that was about 4 or 5 days ago, and he's had 1 feeding visit since then, so whoops, he is maintaining weight very well. So 302 grams. And the next thing we're going to do is bring them out partly, and we'll take a look at those growing wings, which are getting bigger and bigger every day now. And the wings will just have to grow phenomenally up until the point where it's ready to develop. The last month or so, they're growing at a rate of about 1 centimeter every 2 days. Yeah, they haven't started emerging yet, but it's not long at all. And it is now 67 millimeters. So it's grown, I think, from 60 or 62 millimeters on the last check. So 67. So we'll just bring them out now. So that'll get settled. Yeah, so this chick really, it's at the cusp now. It's just about at the first, in what we call the 1/3 fledged stage. It's finished the first third of its development. The next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be the biggest increase in size and weight out of all of it, and it probably will reach its maximum weight over the next 3 weeks or so, which could be as high as 400 to 500 grams. It all depends how much luck the parents have in finding food for him and having, you know, compatible weather. Well, we've just had the full moon, so he's about to come into a period of increased feeding visits. Doing really well. I'm really happy with the rate of growth on our little chick. Yeah, and he's starting to get feisty. He's not hurting yet, but we know he's an adventurous guy because he is already going into the nest tunnel. And often at this point, they start to get a little aggressive and they start biting you for the first time. And by the time they're in their final stages of development, that's when the bites really start to hurt and they can draw blood. But at this point, it's more just like a love tap, really. So yeah, he's doing well. I'm very pleased with the development of him and all of the, in fact, all of the chicks out here in Nonsuch Island. One of the chicks that we measured on one of the other nesting islands the other day was 424 grams already. Is you know, one of the first chicks to hatch, and he's obviously got a very, very good set of parents. So yeah, I think I'm very happy with how things are going. There doesn't seem to be any evident problems. This chick is developing normally and doesn't seem, you know, so far so good with it. And we'll just continue to monitor it and hopefully bring you more of these checks as the chick progresses. The end of the second stage, the second third of development, is when they really start to change in appearance. All of this down will start to come off and the true adult feathers will start to build in all over the body. Usually starting with the back first, and then the wings, and then the head is usually the last thing. The head and the tummy is usually the last parts to have it. But yeah, it's quite a, you know, healthy little bird. And hopefully we'll continue to have good luck with his feeding visits. Okay, so Jeremy Madeiros, and I'm going to return him to his nest burrow now. Signing out from Nonsuch Island. Okay. Yeah, see how they're really using the wing for balance now? That's the first thing. You can't really use it for flying yet, but they do use it for balance, just to get around. And we'll put him back into his... Let's get those wings back in. Okay. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this webbing out that I've seen every so often in the webcam. Okay. Happy Easter from Jeremy and the whole team out here, and JP behind the camera from Nonsuch Island, Bermuda. And not too bad after near gale force winds. So everybody have a happy Easter.